All right, welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. Welcome to this early Saturday morning stream. And we are going to get into a variety of topics, but this first one, we're going to talk about how Tesla's end of quarter. If you've been following the channel, you know that Tesla works in quarterly cycles, I guess. And this is March right now, which is the end of the first quarter, and discounts are starting to happen. So we'll take a look at what we found, and we'll take a look at, of course, the US market as well, along with a variety of other topics as well during the stream. So, but before we get into all of that, let's roll that intro real quick. Thanks for watching another stream. Thanks for watching another video. My name is Dennis, and I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on a Tesla on the best possible price, or just getting really good financing on your Tesla. So if you're interested in any of that, please hit that subscribe. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description if you want to support the channel to get the best financing rates for your Tesla and amongst other benefits. So definitely check it out if you're interested. And thank you to my latest Patreon members, Simha, Christopher, Depeche. Thank you for joining. Thank you for supporting. And all of that. But let us get into this really quickly. So if you don't know, Tesla works on quarterly cycles. How that works is they need to sell vehicles, right? Every single month, every single year, and of course, every single quarter. And so in quarter one, it starts in January and it goes all the way to February. And what happens if you're a new Tesla buyer, new to the game because of these crazy price discounts in January, what happens is in December is usually their biggest, craziest month. That's when we had a $7,500 discount. That's when we had 10,000 free supercharging. All that stuff happened in December across all their vehicles, actually, Model 3, Y, S, and X. And now we are at March, the last month of the first quarter. Typically, there hasn't been much discounts, at least for the past couple of years, because of inventory shortages and all that. But now it's kind of a different atmosphere. Besides Model Y, which we'll talk about Model Y inventory later on in this video, really, I mean, the Model 3, the Model S, and the Model X, there is a good amount of inventory everywhere. And so that's where we're starting to see Tesla get a little antsy. And I'll show you where there's discounts on the Model 3 in the US here. But first, let's think, big first. And so we're starting to see it. So this is a tweet from Tesla Chan. He tweeted about the Tesla Korea market. And you see there's a price discount on selected vehicles. They also have 3.3% select financing. I mean, of course, we don't know what term that actually is, but I mean, 3.3%, that's like credit unions don't even get that low anymore. I mean, some of them do, but it's really hard to get to. And if you're interested in a credit union financing video, and maybe to also interested in a giveaway for Tesla Tint, check out yesterday's stream. We're collabing with OC Tint Solutions in Anaheim. So check out the video. But anyways, and then this one stuck out to me, 4%, which is still better than Tesla financing right now, because Tesla financing in the US is 5.59% right there. And so 4% plus 1 year free supercharging. I mean, that I don't know what the valuation of that in Korea is, but here that's at least $1,000 to maybe even $2,000 depending on your type of driving pattern and all that. But taking a look at other markets, here's another tweet from @PoliticallyReality. $5,000 price cut in Germany. Quote, huge swaths of inventory significantly discounted now. As bad as Q1 may be, it's nothing compared to what quarter two will look like. I now think break even is now on the table for quarter two. And so it might be, Tesla needs to sell some of these vehicles in other markets because they're getting too high in inventory, or they might need these areas to hit sales goals for their number. And so here's a tweet from Troy Teslike. I saw that he also posted a thing about how these other markets are starting to discount their inventory as well. And a quote, it says, Tesla has reduced the price of unsold cars by Europe by 6%. These are not showroom cars, not like in America, right? These are normal imports from China and have no buyers yet. And he started listing the UK, the Germany, and France. And what's really interesting to me is that you can see right here, there's a label that says showroom adjustment. And so Tesla in America kind of uses that same labeling as well. But in other markets, they're starting to do it by different wording. So in the UK, it says showroom adjustment, France, tariff adjustment, Germany, price adjustment. So they're really trying to get crafty with all these different wordings, that's for sure, in other markets. And so here's another one from Mathis Fonz at FonzDK. You can see Tesla has lowered the price of the Model 3 rear-wheel drive in Italy by 37 or 3,500 or 37.15 US. That is a 8% drop. And they did this because now it qualifies for a $3,000 subsidy for when a consumer scraps an ICE vehicle in the Italy area. So we can see Tesla, that's why I always say, like, we're pending with this, $7,500 federal tax credit, right? The IRS could release any sort of details at any time in March, at least from what it says. And so that's why I'm not too, worried if Tesla loses the $7,500 tax credit and it goes to, like, let's say $3,750, because Tesla's got the power to, do whatever they want with pricing. And so if the Model 3 loses $7,500, I mean, it's not saying they would go directly down to $3,750, but the lowest price of the Model 3 standard range ever was $37,000. And guess what? That's about $7,500 away from the current price, like $6,000, right? And so Tesla, if they need to, they could really, it's within their range. I'm not saying they would do it right away, but they could easily switch this price down to 30, not easily, but they could possibly switch it down to 39,990 to get some sales from there. But definitely some interesting stuff. We're starting to see a lot of pressure on the other different markets. And we talk about this because we need, I like to catalog and see what Tesla does in other markets, because, they could easily do this the same here, especially now that Tom Zhu is the head of global sales, across the world. And so he's probably seeing all these different strategies, sees what works in this market, copies and pastes in, here, over there, and all that certain stuff. And so we're starting to see a little trickle of it in the US. So taking a look here, this is waitingfortesla.com, great third-party aggregator site. You can see right here, Model 3 rear-wheel drive, $720 discount. Model 3 rear-wheel drive, 337 miles, $490 discount. Of course, these are red ones, so maybe not as in demand. They're kind of highly loaded, but we're starting to see a little bit more. Like maybe a week ago, there was maybe one discounted Model 3, and now there are 4. And if you're in the market for a Model 3 vehicle, I would potentially say maybe hold tight, or if you have a pending order, maybe consider switching to one of these. That's very easy, able to do, especially if you're in the same market, because an extra $720 discount with 780 miles on it, that's not bad at all. And if we start to see what they're doing in other markets by discounting vehicles that have, you can see right here, less than 50 odometer and a $3,800 discount, I don't know what the conversion there is. We could easily see a market in which we could get Model 3s to $3,000 off by the end of this month. That's my prediction. And it's not really even a prediction. I'm just going off of what I've seen in previous quarters and previous months. And it's not that long ago. Like in February, there was Model 3s with $2,000 to $3,000 discounts at $2,000 to $3,000 discounts at some point. So time will certainly tell as Tesla gets to the end of this quarter. If they need more sales, then we should see some discounts on the Model 3. Model Y, different story. We're going to talk about that later on in this stream. Completely different story. But if you're in the market for a Model S and X, you've probably seen there's massive discounts. You can see right here, Model S, $11,000, $12,000, $13,000. And just briefly to the Model X, that's where they're Tesla is going absolutely insane with the discount, the prices, and all that stuff. So $16,510 discount on a Model X. This one's been in the inventory for a bit. So if Tesla wants to clear all these, they still have 400 Tesla Model X's on inventory. It could certainly get into an interesting environment, that's for sure. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it are. Let me know what you're thinking. We're going to jump into our next topic. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down in the description, there's a Patreon link where you can definitely get some benefits. So definitely check it out if you're interested. All right. Thanks for joining.